Hey everybody, I made a video a little while ago, actually a long time ago, about how to flare lines using a flaring tool. Uh, be more smart than I was and just read up on how to do the process, because what I did is I just taught myself and I was only single flaring the lines instead of double inverting flaring them. So I had to redo all my brake lines, and that's too bad. Oh well. So I went out and I bought a different tool because the other one I was using was a really low quality one. A really low quality one. And well, I was going to show you the pieces of it that are left after it broke. But basically what happens is sometimes when you buy a low quality one, the clamping effect to hold the line will actually destroy the tool. And it won't actually even be strong enough to really hold the line in there while you use the swivel to press it down. So that's what was happening, and I was really over tightening it to help myself do the job because the tool couldn't perform. And it was a Maximum brand, and I think it was let me see. I want to actually see. Old soft brake lines, old master cylinder, old carburetor adapter I'm not going to use. Ah, here we go. Mastercraft. So it was a Mastercraft one, and it just had a couple. Well, you saw it in another video, but I wouldn't use that one. I wouldn't buy it. It's not a good brand. It doesn't help you do the job. The tool breaks. You can't get your work done properly. It sucks. Don't buy it. Mastercraft. Mastercraft didn't do a good job that time. But anyways, so another tip that I have for you is if you need to make a bend in your pipe that's a tighter turn than the pipe bender you already have, because they also have a pipe bender as well. I don't think it's Mastercraft. I think it's OEM, Original Equipment Manufacturer, or whatever. But basically what you can do is you can find something that's like rounded and hard like this, and you can just kind of make it work on there. You know, the nuts are getting in the way right now, but you can see how it fit on there, and I bent it. If you try and bend it by hand, it'll buckle more likely than not. So if you have something to support it while you're doing your bending, it'll help you have a successful bend. Yeah, but anyways, so that's how the tool is used. That's not how the tool is used. But anyways, what you do is you take the flaring bar, right? Set it up. I don't have my little stick, so I hope that this will be a good view for all y'all. Okay, so what you do is you take your hard line, open up the tool, stick it in there, corresponding size, 3/16, right? Take one of these little guys, which is the first part of the double inverting flare process. So this is the flare, I assume. Might not be using the right terminology here, right? And you pull it down like this. Right, what I like to do is I like to make both like to make sure that both sides of the bar, the holding bar, or whatever it's called, level. And then you have the top of the brake line level with the first step of this thing, so the widest piece in this case. Pull it down like that. Get it pretty close. Make sure these things are nice and level-ish. Yeah, that looks pretty appropriate. Apparently, you want to tighten down this side first, then this side second. All right. And then tighten it up. A tip I learned is to use something like a lever to help you tighten it up, because it can get really tight. Yeah, those are a little bit off now, but whatever. It might not even really matter. Tighten it up real tight so it won't get pushed out. That's in there tight. That's in there real tight. Tighten it up a little bit more, just in case. Right. Right. Then you take a little tiny drop of brake fluid. This is a tip that I learned from some of the guys in the forum. Take a little tiny drop of brake fluid on something like a bobby pin, or in this case a cotter pin, and lube it up. So it's got some lube to it. Maybe put a little bit on the little tiny hockey puck thing that's in there. Every little bit helps, I guess. And be prepared to get a tiny bit of brake fluid on your hands. But don't worry about that, because just think about all the times you smoked a cigarette back when you were 18. Right? Put that on top of there, like that. Bring it out. This part's the tricky part, because the little black hockey puck thing, it moves around, and the little tiny pole that's in there, that's on there that you saw, it doesn't completely fill the brake line. So there's a little bit of movement, and you can see that it kind of moves around, and so you got to try and line it up so that it looks like it's level, looks like the swivel is directly over instead of off to the side of the brake line. So if you can imagine it going into the middle, and you can kind of move it around with your fingers and stuff to kind of see where it could settle once it starts turning. So I kind of think that that's going to be a good spot for it. And you can kind of look at it to see if it's going to level, when you don't have a lot of hands other than the two, you're going to have to use your face and stuff like that to tighten this down for the first bit. Yeah, I kind of like to make sure that the hockey puck thing, the black thing, is going to go right down on top of this flat surface, flat instead of off to the side. I think that's going to help you have a good flare. And that's it. Contact. Right? Flat. And then you take this thing off. And then you move the hockey puck out of the way. Put it back in the box there. Right? Grab a little bit more brake fluid to lube it up a little bit more. Alright, put the bobby pin back there. And then you move this thing, the swivel, over the hole. Again, try and make sure that it's kind of level. Use your face to start it so that you don't have to keep on holding it. And there wasn't really any specific amount of turns in the instructions, like how many times you have to tighten this down. You know, I think it's just like use your own judgment or something like that. You press it in there like that, loosen it off a little bit, see if it's something you're happy with, take it off, look at it. Yeah, I think so. Grab your screwdriver again. Open it up. Open it up. Take it out. Look at it. Clean it up with a little bit of a cloth. I'll wipe off all the shit that's on there. Brake fluid and debris. Clean it up. I don't know if y'all can see that. Probably not. You probably can't see that. That's the double inverted flare. What I was doing before is I was just using the swivel. That's it. I was putting the brake line in here, cutting it, putting it in here, and then using the swivel. That's it. I didn't deburr. I didn't chamfer the edge with the file, which is so you cut the line and then you sort of, you know, like take the file and you bevel the edge of the brake line after you cut it, so that it's kind of like got like an edge to it that kind of goes this way. So it looks like, if you looked at it under like a microscope or something like that, it would have like a V shape. Have like a V shape going up, right? So you want to do that with the file. You want to deburr it. You want to fucking, you know, try your best to make it as best it could be. But they're kind of a little bit off. But so are the ones that I took off, though. I mean, if you can kind of tell, it's not like 100% completely, even. But anyways, all right. So that was that part of the process. I'm gonna have a cup of tea or a sip of tea. And then after that, I'm going to show you guys the next part of the process for making some good flares. Oh, wrong way. All back together. Close it. That away. Right. The next tool that I'm going to show you guys is the line lapper. Right, I bought this. It's from Cool Tools. It's a SureSeat P51B. And what this does is it apparently solves all of your problems. Solves all of your problems, apparently. Well, that's not what they said. Just saying. This is what I said. Okay. So, what you have here are, like, holders. So you screw the nut that's on the brake line into this. And then after that, you secure that into this. And then this little sanding triangle cone, it polishes the flare that you just made. So if you could tell, which I don't think you can, there's actually a mark. There's actually a mark that gets pressed into this flare every time I make it, because there was something in between the swivel. Something in between the swivel and the brake line. And it was my fault. I did something wrong. I don't know what it was. But anyways, so here we go. Alright, so you take the tool, take the nut on the flare, on the line, right? Choose your appropriate size. This one is 3/8 which is the size of the nut, and by 24, which is 24 threads per inch. And so you put this guy on here like this, right? Like that. Then you take out the tool, Sure CP51B, or whatever you may have. Take a little bit of oil, as per instruction. Oil the tip of the cone. I'm using a piece of old newspaper. You can use whatever you like. Alright, then you take this thing, you put it in there, like that. Press down the clip, holds it in there. But I would recommend trying to be a little bit more careful with it, because the thing is that it moves around. So you got to kind of hold it steady. Alright, and then you press this in like this. Right? And then it does this. Right? The instructions say more is not better. I agree. So I don't do it too much. Right? Release it. Take off the thing. Put it back where you found it so you don't lose it. Clean it up. And you can't really tell because the camera isn't really a good storyteller. You know, you can't really see it. But maybe we'll see if I can get it to focus on that for you. Yeah. Like it polished it right up. So it's a clean flare on your brake line that doesn't have any marks in it, which is hopefully going to have a very easy time meeting with the other brake line, the other end of the brake line, the other fitting that it's supposed to attach into. All right. Alright, so I got these residual pressure valves. Somebody in the forum told me that I should use them. I went and researched online. Online said you don't have to use those if your master cylinder is mounted to the firewall. This is possibly true. This is possibly true. Many things are true. Many things have a lot of truth to them. You know? These are the conditions that I'm currently working with. You know, I get the tarp, lay the tarp on the ground for when I have to get in here. Anyways, so a whole day was spent fooling around, grinding, hammering, smashing, buffing. I did a little bit of welding to get the master cylinder mounted. And it's not even mounted in full liquid or anything like that. It's just mounted and just sitting there just so I can make all these lines, you know, just so I can make all these lines and get everything built up for the big day. For the big day when I do the next brake rebuild attempt. In, out. Oh, shoot. There. So, yesterday I built this one. But I don't know if this is like bad. I don't know if it's bad that it's just kind of like going straight down. I don't know. So what this other brake line that you can see right down there, it's going to connect over to this brass T. That's going to be for the brakes for the driver's side, and then another line is going to come out of the T, go back up over to the side for the other side of the brake. So this is the back brakes, and yeah. All right, that's a long video. Not long enough, I guess. Anyways, that's how that works. That's how that's going. So I guess I'm got to make another. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I hope I have enough nuts. I hope I have enough nuts for all the stuff that I need to do today. Alright everybody, thanks a lot for watching my video. 1958 AMC Rambler Super, part 118 I suppose. Tea is a good thing on a day like today. Alright, maybe I can use some of these other nuts from these other brake lines that I won't use. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, okay. Alright, thanks a lot everybody. And yeah, take care and etc. Thanks a lot for watching everybody. Bye-bye.